Rocket Prize Fighter! One of the most celebrated installments in its entire series, Mortal Kombat 2 was unleashed into the arcades in 1993. And with its massive success came ports, a lot of them, to pretty much everything but the original Nintendo. And even then there's unlicensed games out there. The first outing of Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy was a rushed mess. Terrible controls, choppy animation, and poor hit detection made this fighting game damn near unplayable. And it was almost laughable how bad it was. So was the sequel any better? Or is Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Boy even worse?
I don't think so.
For starters, let's talk about the roster size. From the get-go, anyone familiar with MK can see some glaring omissions here. Any fans of Baraka, Raiden, Johnny Cage, and Kung Lao? Kiss them all goodbye because they didn't make the cut. It's always a big bummer when developers can't squeeze in everybody's favorites, but that's the price we pay for a handheld version, I guess. The animations are a big improvement over the chop fest of the first outing. Things flow a lot more smoothly and look pretty decent when executing moves. And don't get me wrong, there's still many frames of animation missing, but overall it's leagues above the original. One thing that really pissed me off are the total lack of areas to fight in. You only get to fight in 2 stages, the Pit 2 and the Armory. If you're lucky enough to fight some of the secret characters, you'll be transported to Goro's Lair, the 3rd and final arena, bringing it to a grand total of 3.
Your brother's soul is mine.
Going from 5 buttons to 2 is another big problem with these handheld ports. You have a button to punch and one to kick. Hitting start acts as your block button, and honestly, I seldom use the block button as the positioning for that is a pain in the ass. Manipulating the D-pad with the attack buttons executes different moves, whether it's uppercuts, sweeps, or roundhouse kicks, but no low punches here. Most, if not all, the special moves made it, and pulling them off this time around is a lot easier and responsive. Hell, even the fatalities are easier to do. And it seems you do get a bit more time to do them, which is really cool. Every character also has a babality and stage finisher to boot, so lots of variety in how you dispose of your rivals. Although in a strange decision, they decided to not give the Pit 2 a stage fatality and gave it to the Armory. Weird. Mortal Kombat 2 is known to have one of the best original soundtracks in its illustrious franchise, and the Game Boy port's music is pretty good. Gameplay-wise, you select your fighter and take them up the ladder with the end goal to defeat Shao Kahn, the big boss. He doesn't feel nearly as cheap as his bigger brother counterparts, so that's a good thing. The secret boss fights were included as well, so doing specific goals will give you the chance to fight either Jade or Smoke in Goro's Lair. Lastly, during my playthrough, I encountered some hilarious glitches, both involving Jax of all characters. And the other glitch, well, it all depends on who you fight. You might freeze the game, or the enemy might finish you off, even though you won the match. Overall, I'd say Mortal Kombat 2 is definitely worth your time and money. It has its flaws like the button scheme, missing arenas and characters, but the controls feel more responsive, the animations are smoother. You get almost all the moves, fatalities, and babalities, plus it's just a fun pick up and play fighter. Definitely give this one a go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!